Do you know the story of a strong man that had long hair? So come with me. Let's open the great book. In the time of Judges, the people from Israel started to disobey God. So the Philistines dominated over them for 40 years. At that time, there was an Israelite called Manoah. His wife could not have children. She was a barren woman. But one day an angel came and told her, "You are barren and childless, but you will get pregnant and have a child. But you must be careful. Do not drink any fermented drink, and do not eat anything unclean. And never cut the boy's hair, for he is going to be a Nazarite, dedicated to the Lord since his birth. He will begin to free Israel from the Philistines." After listening to the angel, the woman ran to her husband. But he could not understand very well about how to take care of the boy and how this Nazarite thing worked. So he prayed to God, saying, "Lord, please send me that angel again to explain about everything we must do when the boy is born." And God heard Manoah's prayers, and the angel appeared again to his wife, who quickly called him to hear what he had to say. So the angel explained, "Your wife will do everything I'll tell you now. She will not drink any fermented drink, and she will not eat anything unclean, and the boy's hair must never be cut." So Manoah understood all his instructions and offered him a meal, but the angel did not accept it and went up to heaven. When Manoah and his wife saw that, they were amazed and bowed down to the ground and praised God, because they realized that he was really an angel of God. After a few months, the boy was born, and his parents gave him the name of Samson. He grew up, and the Lord blessed him a lot. One day, Samson, now an adult, was going alone to a city nearby, when all of a sudden there came a lion, roaring towards him. At this moment, something totally unexpected happened. The Spirit of God came to Samson, and he defeated the lion only with his bare hands. Wow, what strength is that? That was really a supernatural strength that could only come from God. After some time, going through that way again, Samson passed by that lion's bones, and there was a swarm of bees and honey in it. Samson took some honey to eat and some to take away to his parents, but he didn't talk to them about the lion. When he was young, his parents always advised him to seek for a wife among his own people and not among the Philistines. But Samson didn't care much about his parents' advice and ended up falling in love with a Philistine woman and proposed to her. During the engagement party, Samson called the guests, who were all Philistines like his fiancée, and proposed them a puzzle, saying, "If you can solve the puzzle until the 7th day of the party, I'll give you 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothing. But if you cannot solve the puzzle, you are the ones to give me the clothes." And they all agreed. So Samson proposed the puzzle. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. And for 3 days they could not solve the puzzle. So they came to his fiancée and threatened her and forced her to solve the puzzle. She didn't know what to do, so she started to cry and told her fiancé, "You don't care about me. You don't really love me. You proposed my people a puzzle and didn't tell me the answer." And he said, "I didn't even tell my father or my mother about this puzzle. Why should I tell you?" So his fiancée cried out loud for the rest of the days they were at the party. And she annoyed him so much that he ended up giving her the answer. So, after getting the answer from her, the Philistines came to Samson and said, "What is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a lion?" But Samson noticed that his fiancée was the one who told them about the answer. So he got furious. He gave them the clothes but gave up getting married to her. Samson made the Philistines so irritated with what he did to them that they were trying to find a way to get revenge. When he found out about that, he hid in a cavern. So some Philistines camped near Judah. That was very close to the cavern where he was hidden. Then the men from Judah came to them and asked, "Why are you all camping here? Are you trying to fight against us?" And they answered, "No, not at all. We just want to tie Samson and take him to our people because we want to get revenge." So 3,000 men from Judah went to the cavern where Samson was hidden and asked him, "Don't you know that the Philistines dominate over us? Why did you irritate them? Now they are camping by our front door." And Samson said, "I did to them just like they did to me." So the man told him, "We are going to tie you and take you to the Philistines." And he said, "Okay, but promise me you'll only tie me, not kill me." And that's what they did. When they were approaching the Philistines' camp, they came towards Samson screaming out loud. At this moment, the Spirit of God came to Samson and he tore the rope as if it was a cotton rag, and they had no chance against him. So Samson was a leader in Israel for 20 years in the years of Philistine domination. In a certain occasion, he fell in love with another Philistine woman. Her name was Delilah. When the Philistines saw that he loved a woman from their people, they quickly came to her and said, "See if you can find out what is the secret of Samson's strength. If you do it, we will give you 13 kilos of silver." She was really excited about that because it was a lot of money. So she tried to persuade him, saying, "Samson, tell me, what is the secret of your strength?" And he answered, "If you tie me with 7 humid leather strips, I will be as weak as any other man." So the leaders of the Philistines brought her 7 humid leather strips, and while Samson was sleeping, she tied him with them and then shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you!" And he easily tore the leather strips as if they were cotton rags. So they didn't find out the secret of his strength. So Delilah told him, "You made a fool out of me. You lied to me. Tell me the truth. What is the secret of your strength?" And he answered, If you tie me with a rope that has never been used, I'll certainly be as weak as any other man." As soon as he fell asleep, Delilah tied him with brand new rope and shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you!" He immediately stood up and tore the rope as if it was a cotton rag. One more time, Delilah came to Samson and said, "You are still lying to me and making a fool out of me. Tell me the truth. Where does your strength come from?" And he answered, "If you weave the 7 braids of my hair into the fabric on the loom and tighten it with a pin, I'll become as weak as any other man." That's what Delilah did while Samson was sleeping. Then she shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you!" Samson immediately stood up and tore everything, the fabric and the loom. Oh, Delilah was so irritated with all those lies. She told Samson, "You don't love me. You don't want to tell me the truth." Day after day, Delilah annoyed Samson, asking him about the secret of his strength. She annoyed so much that he ended up telling her his secret. Can you believe this? Oh no! So Samson told her, "Delilah, my hair was never cut because I'm a Nazarite since I was in my mother's womb. If my hair gets cut, all my strength will land, and I will be as weak as any other man." When Delilah noticed that Samson was really telling the truth, she sent a message to the leaders of the Philistines saying, "You can come tonight because I have found the secret of Samson." So when Samson fell asleep in Delilah's lap, she called a man and asked him to cut Samson's braids, and this way his strength was lost. And then Delilah shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you!" He quickly stood up, but the Lord was not with him anymore. And the Philistines easily tied him and took him with bronze handcuffs. And after taking off his vision, took him away to grind grain in prison. Sometime later, the leaders of the Philistines gathered to celebrate Samson's prison. But his hair had already started to grow again. When they called Samson to tease him because he was blind and arrested, he asked the man who carried him to put him between the columns that sustained the temple. The place was crowded. More than 3,000 people looked at Samson and laughed at him. So Samson prayed to God, saying, "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Oh God, I beg you, give me strength one more time, and help me revenge on the Philistines because of my 2 eyes." At this moment, something totally unexpected happened. Samson put one hand in each column, and with his strength back, down came the columns and the temple where the Philistines were. This way, Samson died with his enemies. Wow, it's like a movie scene. Samson's story is really thrilling. And here we learn how important it is to be obedient. If Samson had obeyed his parents, getting married to a woman from his own people, he wouldn't have been deceived by Delilah, and he would not have suffered so much. We should really think about it. Sometimes it may seem that our parents want to annoy us with lots of rules and instructions, but for sure they love us so much that they always want the best for us, That's why they give us rules to protect us from a lot of suffering. What about talking to your parents about the rules of the house or the family that you still don't understand well the reasons, and the ones you don't agree much with? I'm sure that this conversation will be amazing, and it'll help you to be even more obedient. Did you have fun? So press the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. See you soon. Bye!